Hey, what's up guys? So fall's here, the weather's changing, it's starting to get colder, so that means the resorts are gonna start opening up in the next month or two. So this is a great time to get all your snowboard gear out, look through your stuff and see what you need to replace or what's gonna last you for another season. That's what I'm doing today, just getting all my gear out. Some of it's definitely gonna last me another season, but some things I need to replace. I'm gonna take a look through all the stuff, and snowboard season's coming up, so it's really exciting time. So at first, my snowboard boots are 32 lashed. I bought these last season. They've been great. They're a bit of a softer flex boot. They got the traditional laces. They've been really comfortable to ride, no complaints. I think the best boots are the ones that you don't even think about. I used to have the Team 2s, but they were a bit stiffer, so I wanted to go just for a softer boot that was, more playful, a bit better for doing tricks. If you're doing a lot of carving and powder, you might want to get a stiffer boot that's more responsive, but these were a good overall boot for me. I'd recommend for beginners, if you're looking for boots, maybe don't go for the traditional laces. There's lacing systems out there that tighten up a lot easier and it's not so much work and will stay tighter throughout the day. I usually have to retie these at least once a day. But overall, these have been a great boot and I will definitely ride these for another season at least. If they do break in too much and get too soft, I may need to pick up another pair throughout the season. So right beside the boots, I got a couple of pairs of snowboard socks. Snowboard socks have got some good tech in them to keep your feet warm. They got the long length so that the sock comes out of the top of your boot so you don't have any annoying rubbing happening on your ankle. I've got one pair that are light and one pair that are really heavy for those cold days. Usually I wear the lighter pair. It's pretty rare that I'll pull out these ones. Snowboard socks can be expensive, that's why I only have two pairs. And if they're not in your price range, you can just get a regular pair of socks that are long in length and they should do you fine as well. Okay, so up next we got the gloves and mitts. I've had these Howe gloves for like 4 seasons now. They've been amazing. They've kept my hands warm. You can see that they haven't even really worn out at all in the last 4 seasons. So a really well-made mitten and they've been great. I think I could possibly get away with another season with these. If you're debating whether or not to get gloves or mitts, I like mitts better just because they keep your fingers warmer. If you're a beginner, you may want to get gloves or mitts that are a bit more waterproof than these ones are, but these have been great for me. And then I've also got this cheap pair of thin gloves that I can just throw on underneath these on those really cold days. And these mitts also have the touchscreen technology in them, so if I want to use my phone while I'm out in the mountain, the tips of the fingers work with the touchscreen, so that's pretty cool. So next up, I've got the collection of beanies and face masks. I just like having a few of these. Change them up throughout the day. If I'm wearing one underneath my helmet, then I can have another one in my pocket for after riding, just to keep something fresh on my head. I've also got 2 balaclavas, a lightweight one and a heavy one for those real cold days. This one's by Starcraft Collective, and this one is by Air Blaster. And last season I only wore this one. Here on the West Coast, we just don't have those real cold days as often, and this was just fine for keeping my face and neck and everything warm. I would take this out on a real cold day when it's, like getting down to -20. I definitely recommend these for beginners and anybody else that's riding. It just keeps you comfortable out there on the mountain. It's also a good idea to have a couple of these because if one gets wet, you can always trade it out halfway through the day and then you'll have a fresh one around your neck and face, just keeping you nice and warm. So next up, I got my base layers, and these pants just go underneath my snow pants, keep my legs warm on those colder days. And then I've got the long sleeve shirt as well, and they're pretty light because here in the West Coast we don't get those really cold days, so you can get heavier base layers that'll keep you warmer, and it'll tell you on the tag like what temperature they're good to, so definitely a base layer is key. Alright, so next up is my snowboard pants. These are DC, and the reason I bought these is just because they're light and comfortable. They were just really, when I tried them on in the store, they were just a great fit, really comfortable to wear. I still got my ticket on here from Timberline. Had an awesome summer up at High Cascade Snowboard Camp. And yeah, these are just great, just lightweight. They got the vents in the legs. They're waterproof. Just a really comfortable snowboard pant. They got these drawstrings around your waist if you want to tighten these up. But I do also wear a belt with them. The only drawback is the pockets aren't great. They do zip up, but it's just kind of awkward getting into these, in and out of these pockets. But at the back, they got the Velcro pockets, which I really like. What's in there? American quarter. When you're shopping for snowboard pants, just look for something that's comfortable, that's a good fit, that you're gonna enjoy wearing. And I think that these pants are actually gonna last me another season, so I'm all good for snowboard pants. I've also got the Dakine jacket. This is another jacket. I bought it because it's lightweight, it was comfortable, waterproof. It's got lots of pockets that are really easy to get in and out of. I like the style, I like the colors. Just a nice jacket. If you're a beginner, depending on where you live is the type of jacket you're gonna wanna get. So if it's a real cold temperature, you're gonna wanna get a warmer jacket. Out here on the West Coast, it's more about staying dry. So this is not so warm, but it's definitely gonna keep you dry and waterproof. And you know, on those colder days, you just put layers on underneath. So this is probably good for another season. Nothing wrong with it. I may get another jacket just for fun, just to switch it up. All right, so this is where we're gonna be snowboarding this season. That's Blackcomb Mountain there. And then over on this side, we got Whistler Mountain. And then somewhere down in there is Whistler Village. All right, another really important piece of equipment is the snowboard goggles. So I've got these Oakley flight deck goggles. You can tell that it's a red lens, so that's for real low light days. So on those days where it's cloudy and you want to see as much of the detail of the snow as possible, these lenses are the perfect ones. Had a great time riding these last season, and they'll definitely last me another season, and hopefully I keep them scratch free and in good condition. I've also got these spy goggles, and you can't quite tell, but it's a darker lens. Great for sunny days in the terrain park or on a sunny powder day. And I've had these for a couple seasons as well. They've worked out great too. So I think I'm all good for goggles this season. Got the low light and the high light lenses, and they both fit well. They've both got the spherical lens, so it's great for looking in all directions. They're real wide too, so it's great for seeing out of your peripherals, and just really comfortable on your face. That's one thing if you're shopping for new goggles, is you want to make sure they're comfortable, and you can also bring your helmet with you so that you can try them on with your helmet to make sure everything is a good snug fit. So speaking of helmet, I got my helmet with me. So I've been riding sandbox helmets the last few years. Just really like these helmets. They're lightweight, they've got a simple design. I usually just go for the matte black finish. This one's surprisingly scratched up, even though I've only had it for 2 months. It's really important, especially if you're a beginner, to be wearing a helmet. You're gonna have crashes, there's always that risk, so you might as well minimize the risk of hurting your head by wearing a helmet. And then if you're learning tricks, you're gonna progress, you're gonna push yourself harder, knowing that you're keeping yourself safe. So this helmet's definitely gonna last me another season. One thing I always look for when shopping for helmets is just to make sure it's lightweight, comfortable, fits with my goggles, and just has the tech that I need. So for myself, I just like simple tech in it, nothing fancy. But some helmets come with flaps that cover your ears. You can get headphones in your helmet, all kinds of different stuff, different vents. But I like to just keep it simple. Sandbox is a cool company out of Whistler, BC, so it's cool to support the Canadian companies. Okay, so last but not least, I got my Snowboarding Bindings. So we can talk about the bindings first. These are the Burton Cartels. I just got them, I guess it was about 6 months ago now. They've got good durable straps, an easily adjustable high back, and they're the ESTs, so the system fits in with an EST board. And yeah, shopping for bindings, I think you're just looking for function. It's mainly function, unless you're doing a specific type of riding. Like if you're in the terrain park, you want softer bindings. If you're doing a lot of carving, you might want stiffer bindings that are more responsive. And then my snowboard is the Burton Process, and it's a regular camber board. I've had this for 3 seasons now, and it's been great. I've had a lot of fun with it. I like that it's responsive. I can do butters with it. I can ollie. It's good for carving. For beginners, I recommend a camber board, but I know a lot of people say a reverse camber and flying V are better because you can turn easier. But I think control is more important, and I find that with camber you have the best control. But everyone, you know, prefers different types of boards. But I just love camber, and I find that if it's a softer camber board, then you can still do all the things that the reverse camber boards can do, like butters and riding in powder. So this is a great board. However, I have been riding it pretty hard for about 2.5 seasons now, so it might be time for a new board. I'll definitely ride this board at the beginning of the season, just because you have the rocks sticking out when the runs aren't totally filled in. And then I may get a new one just to freshen things up. And this one's getting a bit worn, so you know, just get a fresh board with, you know, fresh pop in it. Cool guys, so that's my setup for this season. You can also check out our snowboard review playlist. My friend TJ's on there, and he's putting out all kinds of videos on reviewing new snowboards, so that's really cool. And watch the other videos I have going into more detail about the snowboard gear. Right now is a great time to buy snowboard gear. You got snowboard shops want to clear out all of last year's stock, so they're going to be putting stuff on sale the next couple weeks, so it's a really good time to get out there and pick up any new gear that you need. So thanks for watching guys, snow's coming soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video.